So you sit up nice and tall for a moment and you shift your awareness inside. You start to feel your body more than normal. You start to sense, connect to your breath more than normal. It's just an opening meditation. Just to ground and center to start our practice. If you'd like to do anything like mantra, deeper breath work, setting intention, or remembering previous intention, gratitude meditation. So the initial goal here is just to shift from normal mind state, being around the house, into a different, kind of more conscious, present, self-aware mind state. And once that shift is established, or at least, you notice it a little bit, you can move into your down dog. All right. So this is the classic start I've mentioned many times, right into inversion. Easier would be child pose, stronger would be, headstand or something like that. But down dog is some middle ground here where you get some nice stretch and start to turn the body on, activate it. So eventually, you find your first down dog. And if it's this early, I like to suggest kind of moving in ways the body feels good. If you need to add anything, go ahead. I'm going to do cat-cow here again instead of doing it on the knees. Since we're doing a strong style practice, we're taking cat-cows into different spaces. All right, so you're in that down dog, you're kind of like moving around, shaking it out, starting to breathe deeper in and out the nose, maybe adding your ujjayi breathing. That's a slight restriction in the throat. Mouth is closed, but it's like you're breathing in and out the mouth. Slight whisper. We're not trying to make the breath loud. All right, there's certain times for that. And it's good for maybe a beginner to do a breath with some sound so they can remember and remind others. But the breath is calm, mindful, skillful. All right. So let's just do this nice opening movement, kind of like a cat-cow. On your inhale, shift forward to plank, just a yoga fundamental. On the exhale, back to your down dog. Big dynamic stretch. Inhale, shift to plank. Exhale, shift to dog. Waking up the legs and the shoulders. I'm going to start to go a little bit faster. Forward and back. I'm not really worried about spinal articulation just yet. I'm just kind of keeping my spine in almost a neutral as I shift forward and back. And then the second tier would be a little bit more of that pelvic spinal articulation, cat-cow. As I inhale forward, I'll now round like a wave, and you can even see I'm like a cat. You can see my tucked tailbone, my spreading to the back, my tucked chin. I'll bend the knees on the way back, arching the back, lifting the chin. Cow, and then plank, cat. Dog, cow, plank, cat. So I'm getting my cat-cow in here, and I'm kind of bending my knees, even my elbows a little bit. Last few. I love to do cat-cow there. If I'm feeling good that day, it's just applying a little bit more activation to that type of mobility drill. Always doing it on the knees is good, but it's like one little part of the sequencing of cat-cows, right? So it should be a lot of work on your arms, right? This is yoga strong. Okay, so let's meet back in down dog when you're ready. We're gonna go right into three-legged dog. Right leg lifts, and I'm gonna open your hip right from the start so you get a nice kind of stretch. You gotta bend the knee, it's early in class, right? You circle out your ankle maybe a little bit, kind of bend and straighten your knee, and you'd maybe even circle your hip, drawing circles with the knee. If you need a rest, you're doing it right. You know, we're already kind of working those arms early in class. Some days we start in the core, some days we start in the abs, some days in the legs, so, you know, some days in the arms. Okay, down dog. Inhale, left leg goes high. Three-legged dog, open your hip. And it's early, so you're just kind of moving around still, right? Just notice things like tensing your neck. Notice things like elbows bending, straighten those arms maybe a little bit, lift the right armpit up here. Try to press those palms down, spread the fingers. Remember, down dog is not directly over the wrist, so you spread the fingers and press the palm down. Down dog isn't really that common, known for hurting the wrist. It's more like the planks. It's when we do bear weight directly over the wrist and like more of a hyper bend. It's the down dog's a little bit more like that, whereas plank might be a little bit more of that deep bend in the wrist. All right, down dog. Last part here, yogis. Shift forward to your plank. You might want to drop to your knees. Bend the elbows halfway down and then straighten those elbows up. Let's do a round of nice push-ups here. You can go slow if you prefer to hold plank right now. You're more than welcome to. But just to kind of last thing here on those arms, I know it's been a lot already. Bending and straightening those elbows, classic kind of push-up work, hugging the elbows in, shoulders kind of backing down. If I'm feeling tired, I won't go as far down, maybe halfway if I'm not feeling great. If I'm feeling good, though, I will go a lot lower, like almost tapping my chest on the floor. I know in some yoga circles that's, you know, they say not to do that, but, you know, it's just full range push-up. You know, everyone does that. It's just the yogis get weird and never go down there. And you know what it is? A lot of people kind of get lazy when they go low too. And it is a further range, so it is a little bit more risky. All right, so we got a pretty good warm up for the core, for the leg there, and then for the arms. So let's take it down to the chest. And let's do one more thing here, yogis. And we're going to work on a nice little flow. A few years we're in class on Thursday. We're going to repeat it. It's a really nice warm up. Hands by the lower ribs, engage the legs, push the pubic bone and toes down, lift the chest. Turning on my back body now. If I want a little bit more, arms reach back, inhale. So I'm not really going for range. You can mix in a full cobra if you want. You're gonna have plenty of time to do that. Okay, after a nice pause, I lower down, press the big toe down, engage your thighs, press the pubic bone down. You can try to pull the belly in a little bit, lift the arms up, just to get the back of the arm now working. We had the arm above us and kind of below us in the push-up. Now it's behind us. Okay, so we're just getting that lower back, and that right from the start, right? We don't just work on front body activation like planks and push-ups. You know, plank is thighs as well and hip flexors. We got to get that back body turning on too. If you're feeling good, you could lift your legs right from the start as well. We already did a little leg lift, and you're going to get more opportunity for that as well. So you don't need to. All right, now I want you to take your time. If you want a more stretchy cobra, you can put your hands near your lower ribs. Inhale, lift the chest, pull through the arms. You know, thinking a little bit more stretch now. Okay, and then we're going to tuck the chin, the toes, pull the belly in, meet back in down dog. If you need a quick child pose, that's nice. Listen to your body. Now we're going to go into a flow. It's pretty simple. It's basically 3 poses, working on the glute activation, the core activation, and you get your Vinyasa Chaturanga dose here early in class. So think of it, second tier of warm-up, more movement-based. All right? So meet back in down dog. All right, big inhale. Big exhale. First time through is slow. Inhale, right leg goes high.
Now really work on lifting the leg for the glute. So I'm going to point the toe and really lift from that hip. So remember, that's for that glute activation, all right? And then exhale, right knee to forehead, round and squeeze. This is for that core, hip flexor, to feel the deep squeeze of the core. Okay, we'll step our right foot forward. I'm just kind of going through our flow, setting it up. Twist, right arm high. First big twist for most of us here. Right arm goes up and open. I'm lifting my left thigh, pressing my big toes down, kind of scissor and hugging the thighs in. Turning on the back again. Okay, big inhale. Right hand goes down on the exhale. You might step your back foot in. We're going to straighten the front leg a little bit more. I'm not going to really forward fold just yet. You have plenty of time. We're going to do this quite a few times. Right hip back, big toes down, engage thighs. If you'd like, you can forward fold a little bit more. Okay, work on activating and stretching. All right. Final part here, back knee goes down. You might slide your back foot back a little bit. If you're feeling good, left arm or both arms up. Anjaneyasana. So it is the lunge with the back knee down. We really haven't been doing this one a lot. I'm breaking it out a lot this week. Okay, so that's the back bend. Big inhale and exhale. Back knee lifts, hands plant, right foot back, chaturanga. Extra push-ups if you'd like. Maybe hovering halfway to the chest. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Meet back in that down dog, please. So, we're moving through slow, but we'll keep it moving. We're going to get into true vinyasa. Down dog, inhale, left leg goes high. Take an extra, moment or three here to kind of really work on lifting the leg via the back hip, the glute. Okay, that's a tough action, but you want to slow it down and feel it. Second action here is that knee to chest, shifting the plank, kind of trying to literally touch the forehead, kiss the knee. You're squeezing, lifting the thigh. You're more in plank now. And then you're going to step that left foot forward, finding that first big lunge, right hand down, left arm up. As you notice, I'm using my blocks here just to make it a little easy on my body. I'm pretty sore today. Back's a little stiff. As you turn your chest navel up to the left, try to lift your right hip and kind of engage your right thigh a little bit more. It's a very active position there. Press the big toes down in that one, right? And then big inhale, left hand down on your exhale. You might step your back foot in a little bit, straighten your front leg. It's called pyramid pose. We'll call the first one a low lunge twist. All right, you lengthen through the core. You pull that left hip back a little bit. And some days, again, you forward fold more, but it's early. So some days you kind of stay a little bit more length, kind of like an Ardha Uttanasana, half lift. A little more strength, a little less rounding of the spine. Okay, then you're kind of at your own here. The third part is that Anjaneyasana. The back knee goes down and the chest starts to lift kind of up and back like a back bend. Now pull the belly in, still big toes pressed down here. All right, you're pressing those feet down, lifting the chest up and kind of back. It's a pretty stretchy sequence, so make sure you're activating, all right? Big inhale. Exhale as hands plant, back knee lifts, left foot back, chaturanga. Remember, this is going to be your heavy dose of your chaturangas, so, get them in now. I'm not going to do them all class today. So now we're going to go into true vinyasa. It's that same flow, but more a movement-based exercise. So you're practicing moving your body with grace and skill and intention. All right? Downward dog. Inhale, right leg lifts high. Exhale, right knee to forehead. Step the right foot forward. Inhale is the twist. You could actually kind of roll on the outer edge of your feet for a little bit more. Exhale. Exhale is the pyramid. Right hand down, right leg straightens. It's pretty simple, yogis. You can move slower if you need. Back knee down, inhale, Anjanasana. Exhale, Chaturanga, right foot back, low plank. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, left knee forward. Step the left foot inside your left hand. Inhale, twist, left arm up and open. Exhale, pyramid, left leg straightens. Inhale, Anjanasana, back knee down. Exhale, Chaturanga, left foot back. Low plank up dog. Don't forget you can skip the vinyasas too. Just work on the more main part of the flow.
One tick faster. Down dog, inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, right foot steps quietly forward. Inhale, twist, right arm, core up to the sky. There's no particular speed. Move intuitively. Exhale, pyramid, right hand down, hips shift kind of back and up, right leg straightens. Exhale, or inhale, excuse me, Anjanasana, back knee down, chest arms up. And Chaturanga, hands plant, right foot back. I just want to offer you like a little, this is kind of like our flow part of class, guys, where you can like move the body a lot. Okay, down dog. Left leg will rise, no rush if you're a little behind. Just a reminder, after you lift your leg on the inhale, left foot steps forward on the exhale, work that core squeeze and skillful step forward, then inhale, twist, left arm up and open, turn from the core. Exhale is pyramid, left hand down, left leg straightens. Inhale, Anjanasana, low lunge with the stretch type, lifting of the chest. Hands plant, left foot back, Chaturanga. There's a lot of space for creativity, yogis. This is very basic. We've done a lot of things like this in the past. Okay, one more little round together here. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, knee to forehead, right foot steps forward. Inhale, twist. Exhale, straighten the front leg, pyramid. Inhale, Anjanasana, back knee down. Exhale, Chaturanga. Can you do your left side on your own, left leg? And then can you go through just like once, twice, three more times, depending on your speed and how you're feeling, just kind of more on a personal level, eyes closed, kind of breath led, moving smooth with intention, feeling the body. Try to close your eyes and focus your mind in a way that's you're feeling the body more than normal, the detail study, okay? And if you want to do something else, a stretch or a headstand, it's a moment of personal practice, but it is our big movement part of class here, yogis, all right? Our flow. You know, you could always add like a side angle instead of a twisted low lunge. That's a really simple way to make this a little different. You can always do like a high lunge instead of an Anjanasana. We're going to get there to a high lunge, just so you know. I can give you like 2 more minutes, yogis. Then we'll move forward. It's just like, in fitness, you might do a little cardio where you go on the elliptical or the kind of cycle and you repeat a movement for blood flow and energy movement. And that's kind of the same here. We're repeating a movement. Now, a lot of times we'll do simple sun salutations. This is a little bit more complex, but not too bad, right? It's just adding the twist and the pyramid really is the only difference. And those are both basics for everyone in here. What's nice about this is you're going to create a lot of flexibility and just movement ability through the body in a flow like this. Whereas jogging would be, repetitive in this little range. Good for you though, certain days, maybe for certain people. This is going to be a little bit more well-rounded for complex movements. Okay, and give you the last 45 seconds, and we're going to get to the next stage of class. You're training the body to move with strength and flexibility. So even though that's a complex flow, it's still linear, right? You're like lengthening and turning, you're back bending on a very symmetrical, neutral, you're forward bending a very neutral spine. So the next here would be the more advanced core stabilization, all right? Now, you take your time. I'm just going to move forward here for time's sake. You might want a little meditation. If you kept going there, you might want to revisit opening meditation. Just kind of like grounding, slowing, centering, right? You add these nice mid-class meditations, child poses, to center and ground once you're kind of aggravated, irritated in the nervous system or the breath. Okay? Next thing here, yogis, we did this on Thursday as well, is to rise up on the knees. Notice I'm patting my knees. I don't want the knees to hurt. And to make this a little bit safer to start, you cross your forearms. That just basically reduces hyper-range training. So it's a big circle at the core. The hips go a little right. This is a good way to train your core, yogis, because it's all of it, right? The circling with the weight. So I'm going back. This is like a camel almost. And then I go to the left. I go a little forward to the left. And then I'm more forward like a child pose. And then I go to the right. This is going to train those hips as well. And then I almost go back, right? If you need that other view really quick before you get into it, I'm going back a little. And then I'm going to the side. You could keep your hands on one hand on your abdomen, kind of one hand on the lower back, just to feel it all engaging. It's always good to do that, to kind of feel the body with the hands. Okay. You can start to actually speed it up too. Just maintain a certain level of body awareness and intention. Okay, try to feel that core working. Now this would be in a little bit more of the strength and tension style. The next style would be stretchy, be easy. This one is more risky, but I think everyone in here is capable. You would maybe want your blocks, right? We've done this before. Left hand kind of swings around, right hand goes behind me, left hand might go behind outside my left foot. Then, I kind of am swirling around here, yogis, right? Right hand goes up and around. Same thing through the front. It's a tough one, right? Now you're drawing that big circle. And just in case you need another view here, guys, from the back, left hand behind, near that left foot, right hand all the way up, back, down, left arm up and around. It's a big one, yogis. We're getting to the next level of demanding something of the body.
you want to remember that there's a common place in yoga where people injure their back. It's like a common place is here, yogis. Say you're doing pigeon, if you want a quick demo, just to relate it to this pose, you know, people do this one. They'll turn to the side a little bit, they're twisted, they're back bended, and they're kind of laterally flexed. This is a very common place, this pose, where people hurt their back. I've done it 1,000 times in yoga, and I can always feel it coming on. You're like that right here, right? You're like reaching for your back foot. It's like the exact same thing, where your body's like lateral, twisted, and back bended. Okay? Food for thought. That's why I said it's way more risky. Last moments there, please. When in doubt, just stay with the core stabilizer, right? The core work like this. Less range, kind of feeling the core engage. We can't just do crunches for core yogis. They're great for making like the abs swell and stuff. Planks are for the obliques, but this is that more kind of full core, okay? Let's keep going, yogis. Let's slowly meet up here in the knees and bring our left foot out. A little stretch for you now. Left toes face forward. Press the outer edge of your left foot down. Tuck your tailbone. Inhale, right arm up. Big side stretch now. So, you know, create length. You know the deal there. Hold the belly in a little bit. Okay, if you want a little extra, right hand down the spine. So my right elbow bends, my right elbow hugs in, and I pull the elbows back in space. This is a reverse warrior two, but on the knee. Look at that foot facing forward. The full pose is left hand goes behind you, bends, so your palm is out, kind of faces behind you, and then boom, I'm in the Gomukhasana. It's a big pose, yogis. You can see we've entered. And I call this class Yoga Strong today. You know, it's a lot of demand on the body. So hopefully you're feeling good, right? That's ideal for a class like this. All right. Now I have a second part here. This is 2 parts. All right. We're going to come back through center. Inhale the arms up just for a moment. All right. Get that length and height. And then arms to the T. Hinge, right hand down, left leg lift. So you're on the same side. Right hand down to the right shoulder, look, tuck the tailbone, bring the hips forward. And then maybe you just kind of like lift that leg up a few times and back a little bit too. So it's not in front of you, yogis. If anything, it's in back more. Okay? Top arm might reach forward if you want a little bit more. If you want to go big, you could do a Chalpasana here. A lot of back bends today, right? Anjaneyasana, cobras, camel already. Big back bendy class today. Right, so that's getting into the realm of the strengthening that side body a little bit more. All right, I'll keep it going. Let's slowly rise up, placing our left foot down. Bring the left knee in. If you need a quick neutralizer, just kind of sitting back. Always a good idea. I'll keep moving. Rise up, right foot out. We start with that nice stretch. Tailbone tucks, side body's lengthened. I forgot to say it before, but reach those arms up. Okay, right hand down, left arm up and open. Big stretch now. If you want more, left hand down the neck, kind of like a half Gomukhasana, elbow in, back, full Gomukhasana, right arm out, palm up the back, fingers meet behind the spine there. Big stretching, yogis. Second part, slowly come back to neutral, maybe reach your arms up. It's a lot of work right around here now. You may be feeling it, okay? Arms wide, hinge, and left hand under left shoulder. You know, from the side, yogis, it's about heel to hand alignment, right? Hard to see from this angle. Right foot lifts. Again, tailbone slightly forward. Shift the hips forward like a bridge. heel behind you a little bit, and then you kind of lift that leg, little pulse, just to get that glute working. Outer glute now. Okay, if you want a little more, top arm can reach forward. And you can try your Chapasana. You got about 3-4 more breaths. Big pose.
Strength is first, yogis. If your body, muscle strength is associated with longevity, right? We kind of, it's proven that strong muscles tend to be a sign of people who are living longer. Like elderly people who stay very active, like working in gardens and go for really long walks, carry groceries, like simple tasks that are in daily life. If you're getting weak, yogis, it will speed up the aging process. You have to, yogis, if your body says quit, you can still push it. If your body says quit, you can stop actually, right? But if your mind says quit because you're not strong here, let's exit position. That's a different thing, Okay, come back to center here, take a little seat. So just reminding you, if your body says quit, that's different. But if it's the mind being weak, you have to keep pushing, right? We have to set intentions to strengthen, especially if we know we're getting weak. It's going to be more difficult the less you do it. All right, anyone who strengthens a lot, it's easy. Anyone who doesn't, it's getting more difficult each time. If you have more days off from strengthening, it is going to keep getting more difficult. I strengthen more days than I have off. Strength is easy, right? Keep that in mind, yogis. You have to push yourself. No, all right? We got one more thing down here. I want a shoulder strengthener. If you got it, you can do a little plank work, maybe come down to your forearms because we've been on the wrists a lot. After this, we will come to standing. So look at this, yogis. I'll give you a stretch after this too, so you can work hard here. Plank, you can do a little like twisting plank, dropping your heels over. If you want to do a handstand at the wall or a headstand, this might be a good opportunity. We will get a headstand probably opportunity later, but handstand, if you want to go big at the wall. As you can see, I'm in a forearm plank. My forearms stay down, and my heels are kind of shifting side to side here. It's a really nice core trainer. Right, the mind must be the one that's training. If something doesn't, hurts in the body, it's tough to distinguish these differences here of why we take rest and when we push. It's like a trap. The less you do it, the more difficult it all is. Right? Last few breaths here. This is basically like our last kind of plank of class. You're going to get like a little moment here in the end, but this is, we're going big back into the arms earlier in class here. All right. We don't really have that much to do, right? Got about 25 minutes left in class. So let's keep it going. So I'm going to bring you down to the chest and take that nice chest opener stretch. So a lot of you look done there. Keep going if you want to work on strength today. You're going to lay down on your chest, reach your right arm out. So options here today, yogis. You can turn your right palm up for a little different version. Slide your left hand in close and roll open to the side. I love this version here. I tend to do this one the most often, the more 90-degree angle. The elbow might go a little bit higher than the shoulder, just to make sure it's not going lower, right? Here, you're opening to the left, feeling a big stretch through the right chest, shoulder. Left leg can reach behind you. Think of it like a mid-class meditation. You came from a half-quarter moon pose, a big stretch, the core work, the plank. You ground and center for a moment so you can prepare for our standing series. And then you're just kind of on your own. We won't hold this too long. Left arm is going to reach out and you're going to take the second side. Use the breath here, smooth inhale, smooth exhale. And you get the optional cobra or up dog or child pose, kind of revisiting what we did earlier one last time. We're going to meet in down dog. It's been a while since dog. You might take a breath or two there, just kind of noticing any shifts in the body. You know, we did a lot, so give yourself one more moment here. And the good news is you get one more quick stretch before we get into that leg work. All right, giving you kind of a long break here just to catch your breath and, you know, calm your mind. We will bend the knees. If you want to do a few handstand hops, this would be a good time. We're going to eventually make our way feet to the front of our mat. So if you want to do a bend in the knees, look forward, kind of hop and land in the same spot. We've done that a lot, a little Shakti kick it's called. It'd be a good moment to kind of add that in, kind of a little hop. All right, and eventually, yogis, you walk your feet to the front of your mat. We'll meet with the feet at the front of the mat. You could take a little inhale, half lift, kind of reaching for your toes finally. Haven't done this yet.
You know, there's a nice version that might be good today, the Padahastasana. Now, Padagustasana is where you pull on the big toe. Padahastasana, the one I'm recommending, is lifting the foot, sliding the palm face up underneath the foot. So the back of the hand is on the floor, yogis. You're relaxing the back of the neck, hugging the elbows in, pulling. Okay, shifting a little bit more weight into the heel of the hand, the wrist crease into the toes. Remember, in this one, the elbows hug in, guys, not Padagustasana. Padagustasana, the toe grip, they go out. But in this one, they actually hug into the shin when you're stepping on the palm of your hand. Last few moments. All right, so now we set the intention. Legs, you've got to do the work now. Leg work, all right? Bend the knees, release your wrist, right in the chair pose. So I'm not going to do squat kriya today because we did the big flow as our movement. So we're going to get into a static chair, okay? Feet about hips width distance is a good place to start. You know, tailbone tuck, knees over toes. Trying to sit a little bit lower, reach the arms higher, but relax the shoulders a little. So I don't want to be here. I want to relax those shoulders. Upper outer triceps kind of roll under and in, just like our down dog. All right. Take a couple more breaths there. This is going to be a difficult moment, yogis. Smooth breathing. Remember your goals. Okay. Got to signal the body to be strong. Now shift weight to your right foot. Left foot's going to hover an inch. Here we go. First kind of one-legged balance, one-legged chair. All right, tough moment here. Very basic pose. If it's too much, just hold regular chair, okay? One-legged chair, right? You don't have to lift it high. There's gonna be a lot of instability. It's gonna be kind of a mental puzzle. Try to find that center, not too much weight in the toes or the heel, kind of a nice center. Work that centered space. Put that foot down. Let's lift the second foot. I think right foot for most of us. I know, tough moment. Keep working, yogis. Remember your goals. Strong mind above the body. When the body wants to quit, maybe you can keep pushing if the mind's getting weak. Don't let the knees go too far forward. Look down, yogis. Your knees shouldn't be go forward. Your knees should be more symmetrical. You know, a lot of your knees are doing some weird stuff, all right? Body's gonna hurt more from that stuff, all right? Alignment is king.
that posture. Keep it chair pose. Sit lower, guys. Come on now. Last part here, chair pose. Okay, first foot hovers and then bring it out a little bit. Okay, weight in the heel. Don't bring it back or forward or rotate it. Just bring the thighs away from each other. Hold the hips again. Sit low, hold that leg out, find your center, pull your belly in. It's a slight tuck of the tailbone. We've done this before. We've also moved in it. Should be a very uncomfortable, difficult moment. If it feels like that, you are doing it correct. Okay, put that foot down, so a little bit lower back, legs are all aching. Second foot hovers and you abduct. All that happens is the thighs go away from each other. You don't rotate, turn the toes out or anything. And you do that work in there. Yogis, you only have like 3 things, and this is the first. Okay, the second is a little bit more of a static hinge. It's your comfort zone. It's warrior 3. Okay, foot down, chair pose, and stand up. Give it a little, loosen it up. Nice job. There's your first of the 3 leg work sequences. The second, that's a squat. Second is the hinge. Third is the lunge. Very simple. Okay, you guys know that by now. The 3 fundamentals. Okay, here we go. Warrior 3. If we did Gomukhasana, we did the chest opener. If you wanted to do something like eagle arms or reverse prayer is a good one. If you want to add an arm bind, nice. This would be a more basic version, the Sushumna Mudra. If you're feeling good though, reverse prayer or Gomukhasana, right arm under left eagle, Garudasana. Here we go, left foot hovers, hinge. Bend the right knee a little bit, drop the left hip down. We did the best prep, it's pyramid. Only gonna do 1 round, so make it a good one, yogis. Warrior 3, drop that left hip down. So pinky toe of left foot faces down. You're either pointing or flexing that back top foot. I need some intention there, active foot. Notice if you round the spine, pull the belly and pull the chest more forward, the neck, back of the neck elongates. Or if you kind of arch your back too much, you're getting good at this one. You gotta take yourself out of that arch a little bit, kind of neutralize the spine. Okay, now go really slow here, yogis. Stand up. Maybe you either switch sides of your bind or shake your arms out for a moment. And then boom, second side, either reverse prayer. I think a couple of us did eagle, left arm under right here. If our left leg is going to be the one on the floor, we'll do left arm under in the eagle. Okay, stand up tall, inhale, start to hinge, right foot hovers, taking that warrior 3. Come on, it's a short hold, 1 round. Drop that right hip down, yogis, because we're about to go big rotational. We're about to go pivot, abduct, adduct, and rotate. This is the neutral. Nice, looks good, everyone. You should be, in a sense, training in a way to fatigue and intensity right now. Train no failure is the goal. Work, 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 have to quit, try to come back and join us if you can. Stand up, release the arms. Okay, so this isn't the most classic yoga thing. Final big leg activator. Turn your feet open. We're gonna call this squat. It's second round of squat or chair, right? But feet are wide, turned out now. Outer edge of feet pressed down, knees are actively pushing open. That's called abduction and supination. Okay, I'm just gonna bring my hands in front of me. I wanna work this one more time this week. The pivoting, the rotation. Listen closely with me. Right toes turn in, pivot on the ball of the back foot, right knee turns in. I'm facing left leg lunge, high lunge, double bent knee. I hug my thighs together. Hug my thighs together, press the big toe down, squeeze my pelvic floor, pull my belly in. Everything down here is activated, okay? Slowly, pivot open, big wide-angled squat. Left toes turn in, pivot, right knee turns in, lunge to face the right knee. Double bent knee lunge today.
So no straight back lunge like normal yoga. Big toes down, squeeze pelvic floor. Hug inner thighs together, pull belly in, tuck tailbone under. Squeeze everything, all those cues, okay? Back open to squat, nice and slow. Right toes turn in, pivot. Right knee in, lunge. So big toes press down, thighs hug together. Tailbone tucks, belly in, squeeze pelvic floor. Should be a work moment, yogis. Back to squat, open up, sit low. Turn left toes in, pivot. Lunge facing the right leg. Big toes press down, thighs squeeze together. Pelvic floor squeezes, tailbone tucks under. At belly pulls in, okay? Last couple rounds. Back to squat. I'll add one thing. Back to first side lunge, left foot forward for me. Okay, same thing, big toes down, tailbone tucked, thighs together. Squeeze pelvic floor, belly in. Now, hands in front of you, turn to the left as well. So I'm turning across the leg. Big toes down, tailbone tucked, pelvic floor, thighs squeeze together, belly in, and turn across the front leg. You should feel some crazy deep work here. Back through to squat. Pivot to the right leg or your second leg. Left knee turns in. That rotational work is key. We do lack it big time in yoga. Lunge facing the second leg, the third round here. Big toes press down. Pelvic floor squeezes, tailbone tuck, thighs squeeze together, belly in, and turn to the right or across the front knee. Yogi, this is super core trainer. This is deep line. This is, this is the good stuff that you're going to feel a lot of things hugging inside the body. Okay, let's do one more round here. Back through squat. Come on, you should be really fatigued already, hopefully, if you're doing this well. Turn to the left. Last one, double bent knee squat, please. Not your normal straighten your back leg lunge. Big toes press down. Thighs squeeze together. Pelvic floor squeezes, tailbone tucks, belly in, and turn to the left or across the front leg. Squeeze all those cues together. And you train that, that's the midline yogis, that's deep line. Okay, second, last ride, second side, last round, second side. Through squat, take a moment. First side, go ahead. I don't know what I said, first side, second side. Remember that the squat is the opposite, that's why this is good. You're doing the hyper range. It's like big hip movement. Okay, does everyone feel that? Those little cues is the important part though, okay? Back to the squat. So remember, the squat is pressing the outer edge of the feet down where the lunge is the big toe. Thighs squeeze together in the lunge. Here the thighs are opening, okay? Turn your feet parallel, please. Inhale, hands on the hips. Lift your chest. Nice job. You made it to the final little part. And then forward fold. Last round here, kind of reaching for the floor. Pulling. If you wanted to do a headstand, this would be a good time. I mentioned you'd get another chance, and this is it. Headstand, big inversion, or just kind of stretching in a softer inversion. And you're kind of loosening up, taking a little break, kind of stretching, feeling it out. You just did chairs into Warrior 3, into that pivoting, lunging, and squatting. So it was a lot of sticky, tight, achy stuff. Tripod is the classic entry here, where the hands go literally between the feet. Remember, a tripod is forearm plank. It's the exact same body form. Your arms aren't wide or close to your head in forearm plank. They're like forward, out, right? So a lot of people, they just put their hands way too close to their face. It is, your hands in tripod are like out here, guys. They're not close to your head like this. Here, right? Out in front of you, like a foot forward in front of your face. Lottie is trying that today. So just be aware of that. You'll be way less stable. Think of it as a tripod, a camera tripod. If the legs of the tripod are close together, it's not stable. It's spread out.
Your tripod's out here, guys, not here. Okay. This is some food for thought. So a little Skandasana movement to finish this up. If you want to pause, you can. I'm going to put my hands on blocks. Inhale, half lift. Last part here. You're going to bend that right knee, kind of bend that left knee. Think of this as part of our hip opening of class. It is a big yoga squat, kind of inner thigh, like a triangle, right? So you're going a little to the right, pausing, going to the left, pausing. Last couple breaths here. So this is one of our kind of like hip openers in a dynamic form. Instead of just holding, you were just doing some stiff leg movements, poses. Now we kind of loosen up a little bit. It's a big one though, yogis. So we are here at the end of class, right? We got about 10 minutes left. And this is starting that hip opening series, the Skandasana. Next time you're at the front of your mat, step your left foot back or front foot back. Let's find the dog. And to do a closing back bend / hip opener here, working with Skandasana, this is that dynamic pigeon. We always hold static passive pigeon. I'm telling you that's not good for you. Right now, it's not. I'm teaching you to strengthen your pigeon, a range of motion that you get passive all the time and end range in. It's not good to keep lengthening very lengthened muscles. So let's do it different. Right shin forward, inhale, lift the chest pigeon. Think of this as your final back bend and big hip opener. Right foot back, exhale. Dynamic means moving. Left shin forward, pigeon. Left foot back, down dog. Inhale, right shin forward, pigeon. Right foot back, down dog. Left shin forward, pigeon. Left foot back, down dog. And then you kind of continue. It's just doing the same position and a stretch, but to kind of, add a little activity and movement in and out of the space. It is a lot easier with blocks, yogis, to get that shin forward and to kind of put it back, but there is more active versions where you kind of lift your arms too. We've done the static pigeon there with the power pigeon, it's called. A few more. Basically, like what happens when you're stretching, more of a technical definition, you're lengthening a muscle, right? And the more you lengthen a muscle, the muscle memory is to be lengthened. It's like stuck long, it's called. The muscle's in like a stuck stretch position. Those type of muscles do have trouble contracting. When a muscle contracts, it shortens. So that's the sliding muscle mechanism. So your muscle fibers slide like this, right? The shortening of the muscle pulls this bone, this bicep crosses my elbow and attaches to my forearm. And when the bicep shortens, it pulls a bone to bone. That's the shortening process. That's how movement works. And then when it'll lengthen here, when I engage my tricep to straighten the elbow more, this one has to lengthen or stretch, soften, right? So the problem is if you keep stretching a muscle like glute maximus and piriformis in IT band area, those are supposed to be some of the strongest muscles in the body. And, most people don't have enough strength there. And, they wonder why the back is always unstable and weak. And, it's not good to keep lengthening. You can stretch a lot, if you are on your feet all day, if you're working on a farm, but if you sit a lot and you're like not very active, like walking is an exercise, yogis. Unless you're maybe, in the 80s, then it maybe can become that, but it's not. People are like, I'm like, do you exercise? You're like, I walk a lot. I'm like, that is literally the bare minimum possible. If you're not doing that, then you're, pigeon. The whole point is pigeon is way overstretched. And you can overstretch it if you are on your legs constantly. you know. But if you're making the body weaker in its walking form. It is the gait, right? It's IT band. That's the locomotion band. All right, guys. If you'd like, I got one last little active exercise. You know, we're kind of going up to the end. We've been stretching all class. You know, remember the flow in the beginning, the Anjana and the pyramid. We've been kind of mixing in stretches all class. Inner thigh is done. If you'd like one ab tightener, but this would be the last active thing, yogis. I think we've done enough back bending, a lot of back bends today. If you want one quick ab tightener, this is a great one here. Okay, I could put my hands behind my head or my head arms on the floor, lifting that little pelvic lift. This is a little bit easier. You kind of do one and you really hold the core in. That's a little bit more basic, you know, for people with injured abdomens, hernias, diaphysis, where the abdomen splits. But if you want to do anything else, a little bit more challenging, high boat, low boat, yeah, I like to try to give you one moment for a really focused abdominal exercise. Okay, last active moment, please. So listen, yogis, here in the end, you got time for a stretch or two if you need it, not too long, but some options include like a restorative bridge would be nice here. One last stretchy twist. I did some twists, not too many, but you know, if you want to get a nice kind of knees into your chest, drop them over to the side. Another nice stretch could be like a quad. If you really need another hip stretch, you could do a medial rotation, the knee knocking in, or kind of rolling to your side, reaching back, just giving you a personal moment. It was kind of a technical, you know, you did some fundamentals in yoga, but a lot of kind of odd stuff as well. So you're going to get a personal feel good moment. Legs up the wall might be good here. How can you kind of close up your practice in a way that feels good to you? Okay, maybe if you're going to do another stretch or your second side, you start to think about it. Happy baby would be a basic. A big ending here would be something like plow or shoulder stand. And I'm practicing, you know, as you can see over in the corner, I always have like a foam roller right there. A lot of times, like mid class, what I do, I don't really add it in our class because I don't know if everyone has one, but I'll be going through the practice and, you know, I'll notice something's really tight. Like say I get into my first cobra and it's really restricted, I'll just get right on the foam roll, like foam roll it out. And then all of a sudden it feels like a lot less restricted. I do that with my calves if they feel tight very often, and my thighs, my underarm here, like mid class, I'm practicing just personally. I'll like, you know, at the end of the class too, it's like a nice release, soothing massage type form. So just some food for thought, something you can add to your practice to make it a little bit more, you know, well-rounded. So stretching isn't, you know, yoga practice isn't perfect. Let's use all these tools and methods. Now, you know what to do. You take your time. You want to go another 15 minutes in your practice. No worries. Just do your meditation on your own whenever you're done. But I want to start to guide you into that closing position. So I will guide you into meditation, then I do have to head to my second class here, yogis. So you know what to do. You set the intention to go more internally, kind of like the beginning. You know, maybe you take a few breaths, and I've talked about that process that I do. It's like I use breath, I still the body first. I use breath to kind of become very present and to connect to my body internally, more subtle levels. I control my attention, right? And then I'll do some intentional like emotions to shift the chemical body. Like gratitude meditation is how I always say it. Thank you, thank you, thank you is a mantra. And then I might do some like active visualizing, like my goals, right? Like how I see my future. Like keep visualizing with that gratitude meditation, like your future. Not practicing, not thinking about what you don't want. Practice thinking about what you do want. Thoughts align with your actions, right? Thoughts become actions. And then eventually I'll calm that all and take the passive, I'll relax my mind. It's kind of my process that I've created over time that I do regularly. But you know, it is good after such an active class to take a passive meditation if I wasn't clear. You just relax everything, okay? All right, yogis, closing meditation. I'll be here at 7:45 tomorrow for our kind of stretchy, slower, more simple Sundays, all right? Namaste, yogis. Thank you.